Definite heat wave in the state of Michigan. Temperatures in the 90s today, low 90s, but nevertheless the 90s across most of the listening area. And through Friday, as we understand. Tomorrow morning, we will have Phil Denny, the saxophone player, doing a street-side concert for us here on Wednesday morning in our Gillespie Group storefront studio on the Avenue of Michigan. We're just a couple blocks from the Capitol. So come down and see live music, just like the Today Show, right out front here and in the coffee house next door. Or tune us in on the radio, of course, or on Fox 47 television, where you're watching right now if you happen to be in the Lansing area. Sherrill Freeborough is with us here in our studio from Hyundai of Lansing and the Freeborough Automotive Group. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
We like good news stories. I'm not sure whether this is good news or not, so you can tell us. Okay. We understand, according to the Detroit News and Edmunds.com, used car prices are climbing. And the reason is because the pool of available used car models is drying up because so many of them were destroyed in the Cash for Clunkers program. Is that true?
You know, that's hard to believe because we saw the used car prices really rise probably about 6 months ago. And we've kind of noticed that they're leveling off and coming down a little bit. Now, I think, again, because sales are down a little bit throughout the industry, we're not getting as many trade-ins as we used to. People are selling their cars themselves, or they're giving them their family members and things like that. That may be some of it. I don't think they're rising as much as they're saying in the media. Because we're not having a tough time. We get a lot of our vehicles, if we don't get trade-ins, we do buy a lot of our vehicles through different auction suppliers. GMAC has a great auction called Smart Auction. Mm-hmm. So we buy a lot of quality cars that way. If you're looking for the buy here, pay here, or the those kind of vehicles, they may be having a tougher time because we're even thinking about keeping more of those kind of vehicles that are good versus auctioning them off. So the budget lots may be having the tougher time because of the lack of trade-ins.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm guessing.
Do you sell more new cars or used cars? Pre-owned, I guess.
We're pretty much equal.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty 1-to-1. It used to be maybe 2 or 3-to-1 used. Now we're almost 1-to-1, and sometimes, actually, right now we're selling more used than we are new. Huh. And especially with the product we have right now, the Hyundai product is priced so well that sometimes somebody can almost get a nicer used car than they can get that car because the price equals so well with it because of the type of cars we seem to stock. We're going to revisit that and think about having a budget lot. But again, we're really cautious about making sure it's a good, safe car.
Boy, that's an interesting problem to have, to walk into the Freeborough Automotive, the Hyundai of Lansing, and say, well, I can get a new Hyundai or I can get a used car.
Right.
And they're not Hyundais, they're all manner of cars, right?
They're all manner of cars.
The used cars.
So they could be looking at a different crossover versus the Hyundai and be so close in price, but have maybe something a little bit nicer on the pre-owned for the same price and want to get that one. Wouldn't
it stand to reason, though, that if you could get a brand new car for the same price, you would take the brand new car just on the sheer fact that you can get X number of miles brand new without any troubles?
Absolutely, but you're also paying depreciation on the new car. The used car, I learned this years ago from a friend of mine. She came in one day and we were having lunch, and I looked and she's got this gorgeous Cadillac sitting outside, and I said, boy, that's really a nice car. You're buying fancy cars. And she said, nobody knows it, but it's pre-owned. I bought it used, but nobody ever knows that because it's so good looking. So you don't always know somebody bought one new or used, and I think that's what I've advertised over the years. You can get a great looking car and not pay the depreciation, pay a better price, and still look like you're driving a brand new car. So when you got good looking cars versus a new one, the only thing that I always wonder about is you're getting a factory warranty with a new one, but the pre-owned one is broken in. It's got the bugs out of it. It still has a good warranty on it. It's great looking, and you save a lot of money.
Well, and if you buy it from a dealer like yourself, you have the service connection, too.
Right, you do. And people are always leery of purchasing warranties. But when my family buys a car, in fact, my husband just bought a pre-owned truck, and I made him buy a warranty. And he's still complaining about it, but he's going to need that warranty. And if you can make sure you're getting the warranty for the right price, that it's not overpriced, and we don't do that. Make sure you're getting it for the right price. So there's nothing better than getting a pre-owned warranty. If you're going to keep the car for 3 or 4 years, then you're protected.
There was a time that people talked about having pre-owned car leasing. Is that possible anymore?
I've never seen pre-owned car leasing. No.
Fiat dealers. The Chrysler had 400 people together, dealers, to find out how they could become Fiat dealers, and now they want 165 locations across the country. They've determined areas that they think Fiat can succeed and grow, and the dealers now submit proposals if they want to try to sell the Fiats. Do you, if you were available, would you be interested in selling Fiats? Do you think it'll work?
I'd have to look at the numbers, because I've got an empty building. I've looked at a lot of different brands to put in there, and the numbers, you have to be able to sell enough cars to have a building going. I mean, if they're going to add it to an existing line and have dual line, that's one thing that you can cover. But to have it in an open building like some of these dealers, I know there are some Saturn dealers looking at it in the Detroit area. Carl Galliana is one of them. And I was going to give him a call and see, are you putting it into an existing building and adding it, or are you putting it into one of your empty buildings? Empty building would be really scary, because you've got to sell 30 to 40 cars to cover your expenses just to break even.
Every month.
Every month. And to do that on a Fiat line, I don't know if that's possible. I've had some opportunities to put small lines like that into my Oakmas building, but the fear is that it won't be enough to cover expenses.
Yeah.
And although service and used cars can, it's still a big challenge, and you're starting over like I am with Hyundai.
Sherrill Freeborough, Hyundai of Lansing, and the Freeborough Automotive Group. Thanks for coming in so early this morning.
You're welcome.
14 before the hour.